Hello, everybody. This is Racquel Palmese. Welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. It's good to be here with you, as always. Such a treat, such an honor to see what wants to come through for us today. And I have something very important. I think I say that a lot, but this one makes me feel a little uncomfortable, and that usually means that it's important for all of us, including me, to look at. So I would ask you to breathe with me for a moment. Take a breath. Come out of distraction. Come out of multitasking in your thoughts and in your fingers. Put your phones down, or if you're on your phone, turn off some notifications and take a breath with me. Let's really be together in this few moments that we have. So breathing deeply in through the nose, out through the mouth. Hello, Abbas. Hello, Sunod. I hope I'm saying your name right. Maybe you can tell me how to pronounce it better. Hello, everybody that's coming on board right now. We're doing a little breathing together. We are forming a field of energy as we breathe together. We can feel each other's presence if we reach out into the field as we're breathing, as we bring our thoughts down and focus, dropping into our bodies, into our being. Feel yourself more than a bunch of bones and skin and a brain. Feel yourself alive, viable, as a spirit human being, capable of sensing, perceiving, knowing. And feel yourself reaching out into the field of energy that we're creating together and coming together with each other. Like we're all part of a matrix. Those who are here, those who will tune in later, it doesn't matter. There is no time or space out where we are right now. We are just together in a field of eternity and infinite history. It's all happening right now. So let's, while we're here, let's let go of our perception of what we think reality is. Let's let go of that, and let's have an exploration together. Let's move in further out into the field of energy, into the realm of human spirit connection. When I thought of the title for this today, about 2 seconds before I hit go live, what I got was, "Are you crazy?" And my first reaction was to smile. My second reaction was, maybe. Hi, everybody coming on. So are you crazy? Am I crazy? Are we insane as a race of people? As realities shift so much right now, and it's just beginning, sometimes it's hard to keep a grasp on what seems real. And there is a very great secret that so many of us, and I know so many of the people that I work with and have worked with, share this in common, including myself. especially in my past life. And that secret is that they're not sure if they're even sane. They keep a lot of what they experience and what they feel to themselves because they don't even know how to share it. And they're really afraid to. They're afraid to be judged, and they're afraid to have their greatest fears confirmed. That, yeah, you better go see somebody. You better get yourself some meds. You're acting crazy. You're not making any sense. You can feel shunned. We are not a culture that we think we do, but we're not truly a culture that celebrates uniqueness. We think we are, but we will quickly label someone that doesn't follow the things we think are acceptable as less than or out there. Crazy. And we need to address it. Because a lot of the group think and the following of truly crazy theories that are out there now that captivate large numbers of people and kind of take over their minds is caused because people feel lost. They don't feel able to do their own thinking. They don't trust what's actually coming through them, so they look for groups to feel comfortable in and buy into what is acceptable for that group of people to believe and think about. Even though within that group it can be really tricky, because the group itself can say, oh, I love the free thinking, I love your artistry, I love your whatever. And still, without realizing, have these very rigid kind of rules of what the people in that group are able to express and think about. They share a common identity. And once that identity is in place, they think as a group. And it needs to get broken up. It really does. Because as I said in the announcement for today, if you saw it, true wisdom is wishing to come through, and it can't come through a group. It can't. It never has. I don't think it ever will, because true wisdom is the alchemy of a person's individual spiritual connectedness and knowing, and their individual and unique life experience and learning. When those two things are allowed to come together without the restraints or pressure of having to fit in to other people's paradigms, then you get wisdom. You get original thinking. You get original creation and creativity. And everybody will say they want it. That's what they want. But the path to getting there means that we have to come to trust our own minds, our own hearts. We have to come to trust a flow of insights that might be coming through us. We have to trust in our spiritual individuality, that we come from different places, that our soul's journey is unique to us. And that what that can evoke here and bring to this planet is extraordinary. But we need to trust ourselves. We need to be able to appreciate and look deeply and listen really deeply to each other without judgment, without needing to associate what each other is saying with something we already know. Like, oh yeah, best girlfriend, that reminds me of something I thought just about yesterday. The associative mind, comparing, needing to compare, needing to know by comparing it to something we already know. So take a few breaths. I don't mean to get this heady with you, but I need to. Because there's some kind of urgency here. There's too many people showing up right now, and maybe it's because of this lockdown and having a lot of time to think. But I think it's a much bigger deal. The urgency here is because we are facing into a new age. We are going to be asked to be accountable to our own unique ways of thinking, of being, of dreaming, of experiencing. And we need to be able to witness each other very deeply without going into judgment. And this is a tall order. You may think you already do this, and I'll bet you don't. Or I'll bet you do it a little. But at a point, you'll disengage. You'll disengage. You can get lost in it. How do we hold each other to really evolve through our complete unique self? I remember when my grandson was very, very young, 3, 4, and then up 7, 8, he used to suddenly turn off. He'd stare into space. He'd get lost there. My daughter would look at me in all her infinite wisdom, Justine, and she would say, well, there he goes, off to his home planet for a visit for a while. And it made us both smile. But we also knew that something was going on there. That he was actually going somewhere. It wasn't a big deal. To him, he was a child. He was used to it, and no one judged him for it. No one took that away from him. No one worried about him doing that. No one even asked him to be accountable for it. Well, we would say, where did you just go? And he would. Sometimes he would look so deeply into a stranger's eyes that the stranger would have an emotional response. He was just a little kid. Fortunately, and bless Justine and his dad Henry for letting him have as much what we might call eccentricity as he needed growing up. Let him have the freedom to be himself, no matter what that looked like. And there's lots of funny stories, as you can imagine. You might experience it with your own children if you are such a parent. But yes, this uniqueness in us is something that gets pretty much taken away from us at a very young age. We have to conform and fit in. But mostly, what we lack is we lack the adults. We lack the people, the teachers, the mentors that we need from a very young age that will help us survive here in this material world, this earth, without having to cave in, without losing our knowing of ourselves as connected beings, connected to all kinds of mysteries, magic, dimensions. The kinds of adults that don't make us wrong, but actually ask us, what's going on? What are you thinking? What are you seeing here? Especially as we get older, especially as we enter our teen years, where our sensitivities can become so strong that we will be afraid. We start knowing emotional fear there. We start being really afraid to be judged. If we don't have the adults around us that help us to free up our imaginations, our inner knowing, I love the work of Faith Mulqueen, a longtime client of mine, who works with children and parents to connect to the earth and all the fairies, the mystical worlds that children know so well. She takes them seriously in their quest. She teaches them to love the planet and the earth. Her heart is so big. It can be a home to all the children on the planet, I think sometimes, because she is able to free them up to be who they are. And I can only imagine them growing up to be the co-creators with Spirit of a new paradigm, of lots of new paradigms here. It thrills me to think about that and to know that maybe I played a small part in freeing her up. Who have you freed up lately? Or on the other hand, who have you shut down? Who have you worried about because they may be a little out there? Maybe it's your own self. How do we support ourselves? How do we free ourselves to blossom into this new age with all our gifts opening, with all our uniqueness not forced through a persona of some kind, not a created uniqueness, not an ego trip of having to be something different, but rather a true, honest representative of a realm that you came from, and all the intelligence and knowingness, artistry, spirituality, mystery, love, colors, visions that come from that realm. How do you free yourself? How do you let yourself trust? beyond your fear of being judged? How do you love the idea of being free like that so much that that love can wrap around whatever fear or insecurity there is and make you safe? If you make yourself safe, you will make others safe. And we need this, my beautiful people, to begin the work of creating here, of out-creating our smallness and our substantial challenges that we've made for ourselves here. We need to find that spark. We need to not keep such a great secret of our fear of being crazy. But we need to process the fear, wrap it up in love, open our hearts, and know that we hold much more interesting secrets than the worry over possible craziness. We hold secrets that need to come here. So be brave, my friends. Let's have some true freedom of expression here, and the accountability to be the best version of that, and to teach our children to respect that in each other. That accountability is anything but crazy. It is of God, of life, and certainly of love. So thank you. Thank you for joining me in this field. I feel you. I love you. I pray for your health, your well-being, and your evolvement every day. Thank you. See you next Wednesday.